So where did Wemby land in the Locked On NBA Top 100 Players?
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you back. Make sure to follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. And as always, we thank you all for making Locked On Spurs your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. YouTube, iTunes, Ken's 5 Plus app, Spotify, pick a platform. We are there. The Locked On, as well as the Locked On NBA shows, just in general, because we're going to put them in focus in just a few minutes. And what are we talking about today? Well, the Locked On NBA Network released their top 100 players. Where did Wemby land? Yes, Victor Wembanyama, the lone Spurs representative in the top 100 players. And we'll look at where Wemby landed. Is there an argument for him to move up, maybe move down, or was the ranking fair? Also, too, what about some other players that were around the top 10, maybe the top 20? Were certain players ignored? Were certain players overlooked? We're going to talk about that and more as well. To get into some Spurs news. How much are you willing to spend for a Tim Duncan rookie card? Well, if the price, the market is telling us where it's at, you might have to dig deep in your pockets. And Wemby and Olajuwon, yeah, they worked out in the offseason. How good is that for Wemby? We'll talk about that and more. And that's going to bring in our guest. He is back, everybody. Mr. Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. He is on X at Sweep the League. Follow him right now. And Rudy, first of all, it's 9/11. So for those out there that were victims or know somebody on 9/11, thoughts are with you. Never forget, as a adopted New Yorker, today is very special for me. For those who don't know, I lived in New York for over about 20 years. I was able to visit World Trade Center before the terrorist attack happened, and I was there afterwards. And I have photos and memories etched in my brain before and after. So heart goes out to New York City and all the 9/11 victim families and whatnot. But Rudy, also, I'm not wearing the blue sweater today. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy. I was wondering like that. I was wondering why you weren't wearing the blue sweater today.
I'll be honest, you know why? It's I'm getting it washed right now. It's in the lock. It needed a washing bad. It needed a big time washing, man. I think if I don't wear the blue sweater on Locked On, everybody's like, "Are you okay, Jeff? You all right?" Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, a lot of Locked On fans on YouTube come at me when I'm at the show. So maybe the blue sweater is the reason why. I mean, with the red sweater, I have a little bit of luck, and people won't think I'm hating Spurs fans when I never really have.
Oh. All right, let's dive into it right here on Locked On Spurs. Rudy, you cannot blame me for not inviting you for a fun episode, because I know you give me some.
Oh, I know. Casey moves on, and I get the fun episodes now.
Yeah, exactly. We got a good one today. So the Locked On NBA host shows, we all got together and voted for the top 100 players. And Victor Wembanyama landed in the top 10. Let's go and look at that ranking. He landed at number 7, seeing your screen there, ahead of players like Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum. More on that later. Yeah. But my first reaction to this, Rudy, is fair. I think that's fair. I would have been shocked a little bit if he landed in the top 5. I think that's a little too premature, considering he's had incomplete seasons so far due to injuries. But I definitely expect him to vault in the top 100 next season. Well, we'll see how that plays out. But as far as now, I'm okay with it. I do not think he's top 5 yet. He will be there. He might land at number 1 soon. Hopefully that happens. But, and again, I'll leave this on your screen, Rudy, so you can check it out as well as we talk here.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make an argument for 6, but I'm nitpicking. And I think ultimately I can get it. Anthony Edwards has led the Wolves to deep postseason runs, to the Western Conference Finals. Victor Wembanyama has even sniffed the NBA playoffs, let alone a play-in. But outside of that, I'm okay with it. We'll get to the other players in a bit where they fell, but what do you think of Victor at 7?
At 7, I'm okay with it. So, Victor at 7, that's kind of where I had him here. Now you put him in the top 5. I mean, I think you got to remember here is the fact that his rookie campaign, obvious rookie of the year, and then beginning of last year, we were talking MVP, top 4 or 5 players in the league. But at 7 right now for this list, I am perfectly fine with it.
Me too.
I actually think Curry at 5 is probably a little too high. I know he's a dominant player, but it's not Curry of the old days. It's Curry, currently right now. So maybe pushing him down to about 7 where Victor is, having them Edwards move up, Victor move up. I think that would be a little bit more realistic for me. But, it's not a shot to Steph Curry, everything that he's accomplished. But going into the NBA this season, Victor at 7, I don't have any problems with it at all. I mean, you think he may take the top spot. It's going to be extremely hard because I really think SGA and Jokic are the 2 best players in the league, period. And I think they're going to be that way for quite a while unless Jokic decides to retire here pretty soon. But SGA has shown that he can lead the team to a title. He's an MVP. I think Victor, he doesn't have leaps and bounds to catch him, but it's going to be a little while before he actually gets neck and neck with SGA. It may take a couple of seasons, but right now it's 7, Jeff. It's not a bad problem at all. It's not a bad deal.
Yeah. If Victor can lead this team to the postseason this upcoming season, in my opinion, he vaults to the top 5. He vaults to the top 5 because at that point he's in the mix. He's in the mix for challenging or for a top 3 spot because you got to figure Curry is probably on his way out. Obviously he's showing no signs of slowing down, but you have to give Victor some credit if he takes this team on his shoulders this upcoming season and guides them into the postseason on the court. Obviously, overall, it's Mitch Johnson, but Victor Wembanyama has to be that man this upcoming season. But as far as currently, as of today, looking at the top 10, I'm okay with it. I'm not mad at it. I even would have been fine if he was at 8, and maybe Jalen's ahead of him. I would have been okay with that. I think Jalen, for him to take that Knicks team, not just last season but the previous season as well, into the postseason, being an Eastern Conference threat, I think that's fair. But I'm okay with this. Do you think there's any case for Victor maybe sliding down a bit, looking at 8, 9, and 10, Brunson, Mitchell, and Tatum? Maybe Tatum should have been 7.
Yeah,
I couldn't see that.
Tatum's been overlooked in the NBA a lot, especially by fans and I think by media as well. He's already an NBA champion. He's a 6-time NBA All-Star. He's got obviously the MVP in the NBA All-Star game, 4-time All-NBA first team. I mean, the guy has a resume that qualifies him to always be in the MVP candidate, voting wise. And he is that way. He's always like the 4th guy on that list when it comes to MVP voting. And I think he gets overlooked a lot. Now, with him being 10 on this list, I was telling you, that's too low. But after really thinking about it, we got to remember Tatum's going to be out for this year. So that could be a reason why he's not, top 5 on this list, maybe. But again, Jason Tatum to me is a player that does get overlooked. People don't give him a whole lot of credit. He's one of the best players in the game. He's consistently in the MVP talks, for every season that he's really been a part of. And I think he's low on this list. But again, factoring the injury that he did suffer last year, I can see him being at number 10, considering he's not going to play this year, more than likely. I'm okay with it. But if he's a healthy Jason Tatum, you could easily make a case that he's above Victor. But again, I think the biggest one is Steph at 5. You're kind of going off of what he accomplished already. That's kind of where I feel like the top players in the NBA right now are, I feel like I'm like, oh man, I feel like it should be like the younger generation coming up here. Steph's already on his way out, as we know, maybe a few years left in the league. Yeah. But then again, it's okay. I'm not gonna argue the fact where Steph is or anything like that. It's a list. Everybody has rankings, and there are always going to be people that agree and people disagree.
Yeah, we'll check off the graphic in a few minutes, everybody. We're just kind of still looking it over right now. You're joining us, looking at the top 10 right here, the Locked On NBA Top 100 Players list. I can see Luka vaulting to top 3, moving up a spot if he's slimmed down the way he's shown. He's been balling out in Eurobasket. It's likely the time for him to take over the Lakers. I think LeBron is on his way out. Luka is the rising star. So I could see that happening maybe this upcoming season where we revisit this, like maybe middle of the season. Say, yeah, Luka definitely is up to his game. He should be bumped up a bit. But Victor at 7, yeah, I really can't complain at all. I mean, I would have been happily surprised if the votes came out and he's top 5. I think all Spurs fans would love to see that. But, I asked Spurs fans, well, actually, I shared the graphic you're seeing on your screen right now on X, what they thought. And majority of them, and these are Spurs fans, Rudy. We know how heated they can get if there's any disrespect towards any player wearing silver and black. For the most part, everybody was okay with this. But what about the 11 through 20 spots? Is there a case for some of those players to move up? Let's talk about that coming up next right here on Locked On. Actually off the screen first, everybody, so I can see us before we hit this segue. We're going to talk about that. Look at 11 through 20. There you start making cases for some players being disrespected, and there's one on the list that I think is disrespected. I think Rudy agrees with me. We're going to talk about that and more right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Mr. Rudy Campos. He is with Sweep the League. Make sure to follow him on X at Sweep the League. Follow me on X at Jeff G. Spurs. Hey, let's talk about 5 energy. Do that again. 3, 2, 1. Hey, let's talk about 5-hour energy transfusion for the win. It's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-hour energy transfusion. Grape, ginger, and lime flavored shots bring the iconic taste of golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies, making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push throughout your day, give you that little extra boost of power. 5-hour energy transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. Hey, did you ever have kind of a sluggish day hitting the greens? Maybe just not that focused there. Maybe you need that quick energy boost. Make sure to get yourself a 5-hour energy transfusion, and that'll power you on your green. Hopefully you do well too. Just chug that real fast if you're good to go on that course. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape, ginger, lime flavor of 5-hour energy transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. By the way, this excludes the Masters of Tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Mr. Rudy Campos of Sweep the League. We're talking about that show and more in just a few minutes. We're talking about the Locked On NBA Top 100 players. And in the previous segment, we said that Wemby at 7, fair, not many gripes and nitpicking, if you will. But if we look at 11 through 20, now it gets interesting. Let's go look at that real fast there. And here we go, Rudy. And right off the bat, I'm going to take this away. Tyrese Halliburton. How can this man keep on getting disrespected? In my opinion, if you really want to shake up the top 10, he goes number 10, and you push Tatum down for the reason you brought up about being injured heading into next season. I think that is a good case for him to at least vault into top 10. And remember, wasn't it was an Athletic, an anonymous player poll had him as the most overrated player at the meet? He certainly proved that wrong, guiding the Pacers to the NBA Finals last season. But Halliburton, to me, in my opinion, Rudy, just too low, man. He's got to be at minimum top 10. Your thoughts?
He's not overrated by any means necessary. He's not. But I actually wouldn't have him top 10 for me. And that's, I probably have it.
More disrespect.
Well, no. I mean, you're going to like what I say here. It's not the disrespect here. I actually would put him above LeBron James. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I don't know if I could put him above Kevin Durant on that list. So I think he's right around the 12. If you want to make a case for him over Durant at 11, I'm not going to argue with you, but I think he goes maybe a spot higher than where he is. LeBron's on the back end. I'm not talking the back end, like the very back end of his career. At this point, he's just ranked in the top 12 right now at 12. just because he's LeBron James and people still think he's, the most dominant player in the league and all this stuff. I have Halliburton rated above LeBron James. And again, it's the NBA top 100 players for today, going into the NBA today. Halliburton does get disrespected, but he's not quite top 10 just yet. And, looking at the list, I mean, you got I'm sure the list came out way before we knew the Kawhi Leonard thing happened in the Clippers. So there may be a little bit of pushback on that. But one guy that's missing, Jeff, and this is all fairness and all respect, is Paolo Banchero is missing the top 20. I mean, you definitely see the Orlando Magic rising. They are going to be going into next season as one of the favorites in the Eastern Conference, not necessarily make it to the finals, but to compete to be an Eastern Conference representative in the finals. I think Paolo Banchero makes a great case for being a top 20 player in the league. Evan Mobley is really good, but I think should be a lot further down than 16. I mean, it's the list is the list, man. But I want to know why your Locked On Magic guys didn't have Banchero in the top 20 here.
Well, it was a cumulative vote, so I'm pretty sure the Locked On Magic, Phil, shout out Phil, put him in the top 20 or probably him in the top 10, but the cumulative votes of all the hosts probably pegged him down a bit. But yes, you're going to put Banchero, I'm switching him out with either Kawhi or Devin Booker.
Yeah, Devin Booker's another
one of those guys got to go out in the top 20.
Yeah. Even Counts. I mean, Counts was putting up MVP numbers last year. Well, he was putting up MVP numbers last year, but I'm okay with him at 19. But if you dropped him down to 20 to put Banchero on there, I'm okay with that.
No, but then you're kicking out Jalen Williams. I can't do that.
Why not kick out Kawhi? I mean, they're pretty much going to do that in Portland.
And no, it's not because this is Locked On Spurs, all right?
Yeah, make that, yeah.
Yeah, let me make that very clear. I think 17 and 18, Leonard and Booker are a little too high on the list. Leonard, for obvious reasons, just
he doesn't
not
play.
Available. He doesn't freaking play. How do you reward him for being in the top 20 Locked On NBA top 100 players? I don't. Booker, I haven't really seen the Booker that we saw a few years ago. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He's been pedestrian. I mean, for his standards, he's still pretty good. But as far as that dynamic, dropping numbers like in and out, we haven't seen that for a couple seasons. And he's been kind of absent for some games as well. Either injury-wise or just not showing up.
Even Evan Mobley. Outside of a defensive player of the year, yeah, he's all defense. First team, 2 years in his career. Has Evan Mobley done enough to make it into the top 20? That's, I don't think, the key piece to Cleveland obviously is, Donovan Mitchell. So to put Evan Mobley even in the top 20, I have a problem with that. But again, if it was a vote, it was a vote. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around the Evan Mobley one.
Yeah. 16, 17, 18 for sure. A little too high. Mm-hmm. But okay, fine. Just for funsies, let's just look at 21 through 30. All right, just to see who could vault up.
Sure.
Well, if we're gonna drop out 16, 17, and 18, then I gotta have Jalen Williams getting one of those spots. I gotta have that. I'm moving him, but yeah. But let's look at 21 through 30. Let's say maybe there's maybe there's some guys that can fill those 3 spots. All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there's Banchero. All right, so you're pushing him up for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you pushing Jaylen Brown up?
Yes. I would probably push him up into the top 20. He's got finals MVP. Not one of the most dominant players, but a player who's proven that, he can be the best player on his team when needed. So I definitely think Jaylen Brown goes into the top 20.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pushing Banchero for sure. Jaylen Brown up. Okay, we go back to 11 through 20 here. So if that's the case, so we're moving in Banchero. Does he take Mobley's spot, Leonard's spot, or Booker's spot?
The way I would probably put it, honestly, if we're being real, I would probably put him at 16.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Then we got Jaylen Brown and Williams. I'm moving Williams.
I think Brown is
I'm
20.
giving him 18. I'm giving him 18, and I'm giving Jaylen Brown 17.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually moving Williams and Towns up a little bit, maybe moving Brown to like 20, maybe even if you want to go higher, you can go higher. One guy, that is going to probably be a top 20 player after this season, with no doubt in my mind, more than likely, is probably going to be Trae Young, a guy that does get overlooked too as well. I think he's on a great path now, so he could easily enter that top 20 conversation probably by the end of the year. If not midway through the season. I really think Trae Young could have a really big season this year.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but and again, this is not biased because I'm a adopted New Yorker. Okay, I'm okay with Towns at 19. I'm okay with that. I like to see him stick there.
I think it could be higher.
That's why
18.
That's why I can't spot. Okay, fine. You move higher, but I for sure Leonard and Booker, and yeah, you have an argument for Mobley. They got to drop. They have to drop. They got to drop. All right, yeah. One more time. There's Wemby right there. He landed at number 7. We're okay with that. We're okay. Just for fun, let's see who rounded out the bottom 10 here. And yeah, there's your bottom 10. When Jakob Poeltl's in it and Kamaro's at 100 and Anthony Simons.
Kamara at 100, I think is. I actually think that's kind of low. I would probably put him
Green at 92.
Yeah. Well, Jalen Green, he's really a big unknown right now. And him going to Phoenix is going to really make or break his career. I think he can do pretty good there, but so much inconsistency, with Houston to start his career. I'm okay with him at 92, but Kamara had 100. He's going to finish really well in the NBA, and I think he's going to see his stock rise year after year.
Yeah, Rudy, just to give a little sneak behind the scenes of what was going on. At 101, they had Rudy Campos out of San Antonio. Can you believe that?
I do believe that. I just, you know what, Jeff, I've been flirting with retirement, so that's the reason why.
All right, well, there it is. A little glimpse at the top 100 locked on NBA 100 players there. Again, Wemby lands at 7. I believe he was the only Spur on there. Yeah, I mean, another guy could make a challenge? Stephon Castle next year. He could probably this list. For sure. Absolutely. Those are, you know what? Let's fish through that. Let's see. Maybe he slipped through the cracks here. Let's look at 31, 33. Oh, there he is. Yeah, there's De'Aaron Fox. There it is, right there, 33. Okay, so 2 Spurs made it.
Yeah.
All right, now we got to talk about that. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. We'll discuss De'Aaron Fox and more on the Locked On NBA Top 100 Players right here on Locked On Spurs. We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Mr. Rudy Campos, who landed at 101 on the Locked On NBA player ranking. Congratulations to Rudy Campos. Way to go. All right, so before the break, we revealed that there was a second Spur that made the top 100, and that is De'Aaron Fox at 33. Yeah. Whew, what do you think?
No
I got to
problem.
wrap my brain around this one.
I got no problems with it. I mean, 33 is pretty good. If you want to rank him a little bit higher, you can, but you can't put him above Bam Adebayo. There's no way you can put him above Bam. You can maybe put him above DeMontis if you really want to put your Spurs hat on. You can do that. I wouldn't have a problem with it. But even if you said no, DeMontis is a better player, I have him at 32. You won't get an argument out of me. But I can definitely make the case of putting him, above DeMontis. But he's better than Murray. Franz Wagner, continues to improve year after year. I don't think he's quite there where De'Aaron Fox is when it comes to accomplishment. The only person on this list that could move up, I think, is Derek White, depending on what happens this season. He's very, very, very underrated. Keyword of the night is underrated. But
I had Maxey moving up a bit.
Tyrese Maxey, I think he's kind of not an unknown player, but we're still trying to get a feel for Tyrese Maxey. He can put up ungodly all-star numbers, for a continuous span. And then it could be an injury bug. It could be, he has a couple of off nights, and then you're just like, okay, well, Philadelphia's back to being bad. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be a better player when Jared McCain is back from injury and basically going full throttle. That's where I think Maxey and McCain are going to really, really help the 76ers this season. They also have, I believe it's VJ Edgecombe, who they drafted. So I think you're going to get the best out of Maxey this year. But the McCain injury, I think, is what really, really did him in for this past season.
Yeah. McCain's a very good facilitator and just creates havoc on that. But De'Aaron Fox at 33, I guess, maybe Demotis, he'll go over his former teammate there. Real quick, do you think at Kyrie Irving at 40? Oh,
No problems.
No,
You could play.
No problems.
No problems there. I mean, again, Kyrie Irving is one of the best scoring point guards in the league. He can definitely put up numbers, but factor in the age, man. A lot of these guys, they're kind of in that twilight of their career. They're coming to the end of it. I think Irving has a lot more years than obviously guys like LeBron and Steph Curry, but Irving at 40, I'm okay with it. There's no big issues with it at all. And again, it's rankings. It's, preseason, top 100 that we're going to see right now. Could they change throughout the year? Absolutely.
All right, so let's take a peek at the rest of the list just in case we missed any other Spur.
I'm surprised Stephon Castle isn't anywhere on here.
I'm going to fish through there. Maybe that's a kind of a surprise we'll come across.
Yeah, I'm going to that. Future Spur trade Murphy might be in there.
There we go.
I'm starting that rumor.
There we go. So far, nothing. Zoe for any other Spur here? No. Interesting.
It's kind of crazy that Stephon Castle is getting.
Maybe. Let's see. 81 through 90.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nope. And just to quickly look at the last. Yeah. No, we saw that. All right. I'm just
that's robbery.
Maybe just in case. No. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. After that. Yeah.
No, that's highway robbery right there. Because he's defense. He's rookie of the year, but he's a lot better than a lot.
Okay, fine. Let's look at the last 10 slots.
Yeah.
We'll look at minimum here. Because if he's a rookie, fine. But definitely, you can make a case for 100 at minimum. 100.
If you're looking at this list, he's probably 91.
Fine, I'm okay with that. But I'm saying, if I'm being just generous with the voters, I could say, fine, you want to get 100, fine. But at least he's on there.
Give me the 80s. Give me the 80s list.
All right, give me the 80s real fast.
He's at 91.
This was harder here. Yeah, this was.
Okay, so on this list, I probably have him at 82, but I would have Josh Giddey at 81. That's just my personal opinion on that. So on here, I would have Giddey over Castle. Barely Spurs fans. Don't come at me. Barely. But Giddey is a walking triple-double nightly.
Yeah.
So
I would have him at 89. Not bumping down Bradley Beal.
Really? You think Quickly, Josh Hart, and those guys are better than Stephon Castle?
I didn't see Josh Hart. I'm sorry. I didn't see. I'm sorry. My mistake. I just saw Beal and I'm fixated got a good play.
He's better than all these guys with, like I said, with the exception of Giddey, who Giddey is just, he's a walking triple-double. He can give you a triple-double nightly. So I think you get more from Josh Giddey. Now, defensively, Stephon Castle is better. But again, it's the offensive side that we're seeing. They both shoot really poorly from the field. But I think Giddey is more of a stack.
The 80 range, the 81 through 90 range is about high of a max you're going to get Castle in right now.
For right now,
yeah. You're right now, yeah. Because if you go 71 through 80, now it's getting dicey for him.
I would say he's better than Lou Dort. I could definitely make a case for him being better than Andrew Nembhard. Maybe even Cameron Johnson. If Stephon Castle gets more consistent, then I'll be honest, he's probably better than everybody on this list with the exception of maybe Kobe White.
He's my favorite, one of my favorite non-Spurs, Kobe White.
Oh, I mean, the kid is a baller, man. So, yeah, he's good. He's really good.
All right. So, looks like perhaps there was a snub, and that was his Spurs, Hassan Castle. All right. Let's go put a wrap on this episode of Locked On Spurs. Catch up some quick Spurs news and notes. How much are you willing to spend for a Tim Duncan rookie card? Well, if you got over $233,000 just laying around, you might be able to get one. A rare precious metal gem Tim Duncan rookie card recently sold at auction for over $233,000. That is now the new record for any Tim Duncan card. And for those who don't know what it looks like, I should have had the image queued up here, but it's like a green foil card. Tim Duncan looks like he's wearing a practice Spurs jersey, you know, the mesh looking one, and it says precious metal. It was minted at 8, so it was a high mint grade. And yeah, somebody bought that card for over $233,000. Reese, you have a story to share to us about
Why
do
this to me, Joe?
You decided to part with, and now you regret it.
Regret is probably the word I wouldn't want to use. What I can do is I'll share my screen for everybody out there.
Yes, please.
So at one time, and I have my phone too as well. So at one time, I was the owner of a Luka Doncic rookie card, and it was 7 out of 10. So there's the back. Well, let's see if I got the back of it here. So as you can tell, 7 out of 10. Only 10 made. It was the gold card. I got it graded. And again, this was back in 2019. So for everybody out there, I have the card on my phone. You want to see the timestamp? Obviously, you see 2019 on my phone.
Rudy.
Yeah, I'm just saying. The story behind it was, I'll tell you, I sold it for $7,500, which these days it could have paid off my house and probably bought me a car easily. And I'm talking maybe a Sierra Elevation, and paid off my house. But at the time, my daughter was attending private school, so I had to pay for private school. And well, the best thing to do is to get money was to sell my Luka Doncic rookie card that from what I understand, and again, for those that know cards out there, I don't think a Luka Doncic gold rookie prism like this has ever been pulled other than the one I've got. So this would have been really the only one in the world that we ever seen.
Your daughter, I hope your daughter had good grades at your minimum.
Yeah, she was okay. She was doing okay. I'll say that she was doing okay. But you know what? As a parent, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Look at Rudy tearing up right now.
As we speak, when we get off of this show, I'm gonna go cry more. So thanks for the memory, Jeff.
Not a foul, Rudy. Other Spurs news, Victor Wembanyama put on his social media kind of a photo dump of some of the fun moments he had over the offseason. And a lot of stuff you already know, working out with Shaolin monks, traveling with superstars, movie stars, with Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter actor, all that stuff. But buried in that role was a picture of him and Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon working out together. I think there was like a moment during the NCAA tournament here in San Antonio, the Final Four, Olajuwon and Wemby, they met up. That moment went viral. And lo and behold, they actually hooked up and got some training in. If you think Wemby, with his build, can master the Dream Shake, Dream you cannot duplicate what Dream did with the Shake.
Yeah.
But you think Wemby can get close? I personally think he can probably do it, but he's very mobile. But a Dream was at a different level of mobility for a big man.
So it comes down to footwork, and no center in the league that I can name off the top of my head had the same footwork like Hakeem Olajuwon did.
Duncan, I think Duncan was close.
Duncan was very close in the post. Yeah, very, very close. But Dream was able to create massive separation between him and other centers. Where, honestly, yeah, when Dream's fadeaway was very similar to Duncan's fadeaway in the paint. So I would say Duncan, yeah, you're right, is very, very close to it. But when it comes to Wemby, I don't know if he has that same footwork for a dream shake or anything. When I saw that and you had texted me about it and showed it to me, the first thing that hit my mind was Dream is basically, remember he had that baby hook where it wasn't really a sky hook. It was kind of a turnaround one hand hook type shot, something like that. I think with him working with Dream would be beneficial because of his paint, being the pivot guy, being down the low block where Dream just, it caused nightmares for everybody out there. Shout out to David Robinson, right, for that, playoff run that Dream had on him. If Wemby can get a little bit of those post moves that Dream used to do, I mean, you and I have talked on many times before that working with Dream would be perfect because why? It adds another 12, 14, maybe 16 points a game where he can dominate in the paint. That's all they're looking for. I mean, continues to dominate in the paint. And he's unguardable in the paint. Now you have a guy like Dream kind of giving him pointers. Jeez, man, the league's going to be on notice again.
Yeah, it's just the thing, him working out with Dream is not the only, NBA star that he's worked out with, Jamal Crawford. Yeah. He's worked out with him, given some of the dribble moves and, the shake and bake kind of moves. Obviously, Dream, he worked out with Dream. But he even picked up the Sham God dribble. He shows it off during the games. So there's that. But, yeah, I was thinking about that. I know Wemby definitely has the height. He has the length. He has speed. He's not fast like Robinson was. But he's quick. It doesn't take much for him to get up and down the court. Just 2-3 strides and he's there. But I just think, I don't know. I think he could try the Dream Shake. But I just think he's too long. Does that make sense? Because Dream was a big man. Yes, 7'1". But you're doing it for a 7'5", 7'5" guy. I don't know. Do you think he might be too awkward doing that? Will he have... Because I don't know if you need a stronger base. Duncan could, because Duncan may not have a lot of athleticism. Like, he's not leaping like Carter, but he had a strong core and a strong lower body.
He was stout, is what it was. And that's exactly the point that I was going to make was that, Wemby doesn't have the body for it. He did bulk up in the offseason, as you can tell from some of the pictures where he's working out, but he doesn't have that muscle mass where I still think people, players are going to be able to kind of push him out of the paint a little bit, kind of be a little physical for him. That's why I don't know if a Dream Shake would kind of work necessarily. I think the height has a lot to do with it. When you're that tall, you're not going to get, Shaq or David Robinson type of stout and muscles. Even, Olajuwon, he's just, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I just don't think you're right. It would almost look like a baby deer, how when they start to walk, they kind of stumble a little. I think the Dream Shake would just be a little too much. What I want to see is get that, maybe that Dream fadeaway, where Dream would kind of go left, right, turn around, and boom, something like that. But again, working with Dream, it's weird. I'm gonna say that's a dream come true for Victor Wembanyama.
Isn't he or is it? Do I remember Dream having a Dirk-like shot before Dirk came into the league? See, he extended that leg out a little bit. I remember Dream doing that. He would shake and bake you and then pull back, and then the leg would not like Dirk. But you could do that.
If I remember correctly, Dream did have a little bit of a leg kick, but his thing was more of, he was always like leaning to the side. It was always kind of like a side where he was kind of off balance off to the side. But I don't know if it was more of a leg kick. But again, I mean, Dream was one of the first guys that could definitely spread the floor once he was able to get a consistent jump shot. So, yeah, you can't really say it's bad because we're talking about a Rocket here and people are getting probably upset.
No, and I think your Rockets fans are in shambles right now, knowing that your legendary big man is teaching a possible generation.
He does it for every big man. I mean, you see him working with Dwight Howard, with a lot of people.
He's done with
Giannis is another one. So I just love the fact that these younger guys are getting to be able to work with a legend in the post like Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, I used to love watching him play.
Yeah, if he gets somewhat of a semblance of the Dream Shake, I'm fine with that. But if he can get that Dream hooked, I think that is the key. That is the key. And there's at that point with it now, his height is an advantage times 100, and you can't stop that. The only way you're gonna stop that is you're really gonna have to bully him out of that paint, or you gotta be stout like Joker to just push him out of that range. And I'll be honest with you, I think defenders would prefer that than him getting close to the paint. Let him, worry get away from the rim. But there's some quick Spurs news and notes, and that's a wrap right here on Locked On Spurs. Rudy Campos, talk to us about sweep.
Yeah, so Sweep the League, you can go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV. You can hit that subscribe button. Again, you got Sweep the League TV. You've got Grading the Market. You got Plead the Civ. We got a bunch of other shows coming out. I want to give a quick shout out to the guys that run the San Antonio FC fan cast, Harry and the boys. They do a really good job. They do a masterful job covering San Antonio FC. I know they don't get a whole lot of recognition in San Antonio, but if you love soccer and you want to catch up on a whole lot of SAFC, go check out the San Antonio FC fan cast with those guys. It's a great show. I watch it from time to time. Want to give a quick shout out to them. But yeah, Sweep the League TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We're getting ready to launch a whole lot more shows, so don't be left behind.
Let me just check one more time. Yeah, you're still there, 101.
Yeah, I didn't quite make the list. I'm just kind of surprised they didn't send you the 101 to 110 list. So
he is Rudy Campos. Follow him on X at Sweep the League. Rudy, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us here at Locked On Spurs, talk all things silver and black and react to Wemby. And now we learned Fox is on this top 100 Locked On NBA players. But was Castle a snub? Let Rudy know on X, again at Sweep the League. You let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So react to all of this and more right here on Locked On Spurs. We'll be back tomorrow. I have a very special guest locked in for tomorrow to close out the week here at Locked On Spurs. And again, go check out the Locked On NBA Top 100. It's out. You can really dissect it, dig through it if you want to. Again, voted on by the NBA host of the Locked On Podcast Network. So don't miss out. Don't miss out. Get all the reactions. Go to every single show. React to how they reacted to the top 100. And again, we'll be back tomorrow. All things silver and black. So for Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.